So may I start my session? See, is it my voice is audible to everyone? May I start my session? Please respond to anyone chat box. May I start my session? Yeah, thank you. Okay, in the last class, we are discussing about the indexing and hashing also. Okay, in this class, we will try to complete our syllabus today. So before going to that, so today I'm just show to our syllabus today. So if you observe here, so this is our syllabus. Okay, I hope all of the members are able to see clearly. So if you're observing this, yeah. If you observe the first unit, so in the case of first unit, we are discussing about what is the database management system and what are the characteristics of the database management system and database users, right? So database users and advantages of DBMS and applications of the DBMS and concept of schema, and right, three-tier architecture and database system structure. So nothing but architecture and centralized and client server architecture. So all these are we are discussed, no pending. And at the same time, relational model. So in that relational model, just we are discussing about the terminology. What is the domain? What is the attribute? What is tuple? Okay. So and what are the integrity constraints? Types of integrity constraints, and we are using some basic SQL functions also, right? So and in the case here also we are not maintaining any type of the pending. So in the case of third unit, ER model. So how we are developing the ER models, and another part is related to the SQL. So in that one here, how we are implementing the key integrity constraints, nested queries, subqueries, grouping, aggregation, ordering. So all these are also we are covered, different types of joins, and views are also we are discussed. So relational set means nothing but union, intersect, except like that. So in this unit also we are not maintaining any pending, and schema refinement here. So this is only two parts. One part is related to the what is a normalization. Okay, what is the purpose of normalization, and second thing is related to the normal forms. This is also completed. So in the case of 15 unit, so please try to observe clearly in this unit. So here I'm not explaining the duplicated topics. Please try to observe this. Okay, transaction state, implementation of atomicity and durability. Okay, concurrent execution, serializability, recoverability, implementation of isolation, testing for serializability, failure classification, storage recovery, and atomicity recovery algorithm. So here also we are discussing everything, but we are not clearly mentioned about so how we are implementing the atomicity and durability specifically. Why? Because we also know about that what is atomicity and what is durability. So how we are implementing that? Simple. So what is the property? How we are maintaining? What are the examples for we are mentioned in the case of atomicity and durability? So those things are also maintained there. And in the case of implementation of isolation, so when we are allow more than one transaction at a time, here we need to provide some isolation between them. So we try to give some example. So and another thing in the case of index technique, we're already discussing about this B plus trees and how we are search the required item, how we are insert, how we are delete. So each and everything we need to give some example. Okay, I will try to send the material. Don't worry about that. Okay. Next, file organization and indexing. Here also we are not focus on to the duplicated things. File organization and indexing is also we are discussed. Cluster index discussed. Primary and secondary indexes are discussed. Okay. Next, index data structure. Here we need to discuss about the hash based indexing and tree based indexing. So nothing but here tree based indexing means nothing but B plus tree index structure. We are already discussing about that. That is related with the tree based indexing. Okay, no need to, we are discussing about again. So another one, hash based indexing. In the last class we are completing now, just only we are having the pending topic and comparison of file organizations. So in the case of file organization and indexing, we are consider different types of file organizations, which type of file is best, so which type of accessing is best, so in which type of we are inserting the record and in which type of we are retrieving the records from that. So I'm right. So and index and performance tuning, here also we are so which type of indexing is best. Okay, so those type of things are considered. So that's why here only we are having only one topic, so that is hash based indexing. Okay, please remember this and don't try to get confused. Okay, and one more thing, I will try to explain the lab syllabus also. So from the Monday onwards, I will try to discuss with the, I will try to discuss with the lab syllabus. So if you observe here, so almost we are completing this, but we are not starting from the 5th program onwards. So that's the problem. So if you observe here, so creation, altering, dropping tables. So nothing but here we are using DDL and DML commands. So in the case of second thing, any, all, in, exist, not exist, union, intersect. So all these are also we have discussed. And if you observe the third one, aggregate functions are also discussed, group by discussed, having class also I'm showing in the lab point of view. And in the case of fourth one, string functions, state functions. Okay, so numeric functions. So all these are we have discussed already. So from the 5th program, so we are not touch that topic. Okay, so just I try to revise these 4 sessions. So these 4 exercises in the Monday. Okay, I will try to complete the Monday. Okay, and next, so we will start from the 5th. So here we need to discuss about the PLSQL program. Okay, how we are using the loops, how we are using the, how we are raising the arrays, how we are using the functions, how we are maintaining the triggers. So, okay, all these type of topics we are discussed in the lab session. Okay, I hope all of the members able to understood what I'm saying up to now. So still we are having only one topic is pending, so that is hash based indexing. Okay, so now we try to discuss about that. We're going to discuss about that. Please just wait one minute. If you hang any type of the doubts, you can contact me personally also, no problem. Okay. I hope all of the staff faculty members completing the syllabus, right? So better you try to practice from your home. So and you please try to revision from the first unit onwards. Okay, so it will be helpful for you for the exams. Okay, I think we will be start the classes, online classes for lab sessions from Monday onwards. Okay. Today we will try to complete the syllabus of this Dbms subject. Okay. Okay. So if, I think you are able to see the screen clearly. Hashing. Okay. What is a hashing? So in the last classes we are discussing about this. So we are already discussing about the indexing also. What is the indexing? Indexing is used for, we are based upon the some key. So that key value is used to find out the data. So where is the location of the data? So those type of indexes are, we are easily retrieving the data from the database, right? So here hashing is also performing the same thing, but it is better than the indexing. So nothing but it will be improving the search process. Okay, so if you observe here in a huge structure, it is very efficient to search all the index values and reach the desired data. So nothing but in huge database structure, it is very inefficient to search all the index values and reach the desired data. So that means when we are consider large amount of data, so then indexes are not efficient to retrieving the data. So at that time of the situation, we are based upon to the hashing technique. Okay, hashing technique is used to calculate the direct location of the data record on the disk without using the index structure. So nothing but, so without using the index structure, here we are able to finding the direct location of the data. Okay, so that is possible through using the hashing technique. I hope all of the members able to clear this. Okay, in this technique, data is stored at the data blocks whose address is generated by using the hashing function. So this is the one of the keyword. So when we are using the hashing, okay, so here one of the keyword is hashing function. Why? What is the purpose of this hashing function? So this is used to store the data blocks. So nothing but where we are locating the data. So that will be decided by the hashing function. The memory location where these records are stored known as data bucket or data blocks. So nothing but what is a data block means nothing but so that will be maintaining the record. So nothing but the memory location where these records are stored. So nothing but here each and every bucket will be storing the data or data block. Okay. In this hash function can choose any of the column value to generate the address. So most of the time hash function uses the primary key to generate the address of the data block. So nothing but here we are using primary key to generate the address or maybe the hashing function. A hash function is a simple mathematical function to any complex mathematical function. We can even consider the primary key itself, the address of the data block. That means each row whose address will be same as the primary key stored in the data block. Okay. Now please observe the diagram. So in this chapter, you need to remember these diagrams also. Why? Because so in the exam point of view, you should be represent the diagrams also. Okay, don't forget this, and please practice these type of diagrams. So when you are free, when you are having the free time, so I think you are having the classes from 9 to 3. Am I right? So you are free from the 3 onwards. So better you try to practice some diagrams from the 6 p.m. from your home. So whatever it may be the subject, so better you try to practice so what you are learned today from the online classes. So those type of things you are practice. So if you are doing the practice in the same way, so then you will be get good marks in the exam point of view. Okay, if you are observe here, so here we are based upon the data records 98, 103, 106, 104, 102. So here we are directly based upon the primary key value data bucket. So data bucket maintaining the record of this particular value. So it will be having the actual data is there. So 100 John Delhi. So these things are we are maintaining, and this will be used like as index. And 103 stored at the 103, 106 stored at the 106, 104 stored at the 104. If you are using, if you are creating another one, so then that will be located at the 102. Okay. So the above diagram shows data block address same as the primary key value. This hash function can also be simple mathematical function like exponential, mod, cos, sine, etc. Suppose we have mod 5 function. Determine the address of the data block. In this case, it applied mod 5 hash function on the primary key is generated 3, 3, 1, 4, and 2 respectively, and records are stored in the data block address. So just to try to observe. So 98, am I right? So 98, what is the mod value here? So for example, okay, 98 by 5. So what is the remainder? What is the remainder? I think 20 into 5 is 100. Am I right? So 19 into 5. What's the value? 95. Am I right? Then what is the remainder? 3. Am I right? So then it will be stored at the 3. So nothing but this is the mod 5. In the same way, if we are using the 104, so 20 into 500. So what is the remainder? 4. So it will be placed at the fourth bucket. Okay, so how we are consider this? So here in this example here we are consider the mod 5. So that's why here we are storing into the fourth one. Okay, in the case of this one, so 106 here, if we are observe here 21 into 5, 105. So then what is the remainder for to this 1? So so placed at the 1 location. So in the same way 102, for example 20 into 500. So then what's the remainder? 2. So that will be placed at the 2. So in this type of way also we can place the data records in the memory. Okay, I hope all of the members able to clear this. Am I right? So better you try to explain every topic with the diagram. Okay, so that is the best way of to representing the content. Okay, now we try to discuss about the types of hashing. Okay, what is a hashing? Already we are discussing about that. Hashing is used for to retrieve the data and compare with the index data structure. This is the efficient. Why? Because this will be suitable for to the large amount of databases also. Okay, so now, so here we are considered the two types of hashings are there. So that is nothing but static hashing. Another one is the dynamic hashing. Okay, in the case of static hashing, the name is implies here in the case of static, so there is no change. In static hashing, the resultant data bucket address will always be the same. So nothing but here bucket address is not changed. So once we are specifying one, so then the data will be stored in the one only. So there is no changes are occur. But in the case of dynamic hashing, so it will be changes rapidly at the same time in some type of situation according to the data. So bucket size is increased or maybe the decreased. Okay, so that is the main advantage of dynamic hashing. So in the case of static hashing, memory is lost. Okay, so please observe once. Okay, in static hashing, the resultant data bucket address will always be the same. So that means if we generate the address for employee ID equal to 103. So please just observe on the screen. In starting hashing, the resultant data bucket address will always be the same. So nothing but here the result is always same. That is not changed. Okay, that means if we generate the address for the employee ID, so here just assume one employee ID is we are consider 103 using the hash function modify, then what is the value? 20 into 500. So 3 is the remainder. So then that will be stored at the bucket address is 3. So here there will be no change in the bucket address. Hence, in this static hashing, the number of data buckets in memory are remains constant throughout. In this example, we will have the 5 data blocks in the memory used to store the data. Okay, please try to observe now. Okay, 98 placed at the 3 and 104 placed at the 4 and 106 placed at the 1 and 102 placed at the 2. So now what are the operations of static hashing? So nothing but the same example is also used for the static hashing. Okay, operations of the static hashing. Searching for a record. So when a record needs to be searched, then the same hash function retrieves the address of the bucket where the data is stored. So nothing but here we are using performing this searching with the help of static hashing. Okay, so here we are easily search our record and insert a record. When a new record is inserted into a table, down to the hash key and record stored in that location. Next, delete a record. To delete a record, we will first fetch the record which is supposed to be deleted. So then we will delete the records for that address in the memory. So nothing but here we are able to delete our record and update record. So we can update any one of the record. Okay. So next, to overcome the situations. So nothing but in some type of situations here occurring the buckets overflow. Okay. If you observe here, if we want to insert some new record, please just wait 1 minute. So bucket size is same. At the same time, so those type of orders are not changed. But in the case of dynamic hashing, here we are changing the data from one bucket to the another bucket if any type of the situation is needed. Okay. In this method, data buckets grow or shrink as the records increases or decreases. So this method is also known as the extendable hashing method. Are you able to see the screen? Are you able to see the screen? Okay, okay. Okay, so how we are searching the key? So first calculate the hash address of the key, check how many bits are used in the directory, and these bits are called as I. So nothing but index. Take that least significant I bits of the hash address. This gives index of the directory. Now using the index, go to the directory and the first bucket address. Now using the index, go to the directory and find the bucket address where the record might be. So nothing but here, how we are find out our required record. In the case of dynamic hashing, here we are using directory also. So in that directory, we are maintaining the index. Okay, here. So that's why in the case of dynamic hashing, so that is the according that will be increased. That will be increased according to the requirement. Okay. So we will try to discuss the same topic after 10 minutes. Okay. Thank you. Thank you, one and all.